All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little Week 12 morning slate review. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Use the promo code KRUG, K-R-U-E-G, and they'll match you up to $100 on your first deposit. And this is what I'm going with this week in Underdog. You can copy me or you can do your own picks. I'm going Harrison Smith higher than 6.5 tackles and assists for Minnesota. TJ Hawkinson higher than half a touchdown, so I'm expecting him to score a touchdown. Jordan Addison higher than half a touchdown. In the Ravens game, Keaton Mitchell higher than half a touchdown, and Justin Fields lower than 196.5 passing yards. All right, let's talk a little bit about the morning slate around Week 12 in the NFL. Falcons beat the Saints 24-15. Desmond Ridder, 2 interceptions in the game for the Falcons, but they win anyway. Atlanta scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. The key touchdown was Ridder to Bijan Robinson, and that was the difference in the ball game. Chris Olave, by the way, for the Saints, left this game due to a concussion. And Derek Carr threw a pick six. You know, Derek Carr's a train wreck. And it's funny, it's like I think he's probably the most overpaid guy in all of football. He makes $44 million and he stinks. And he stunk with the Raiders, and now he's in New Orleans, and he stinks with the Saints. So they get back their starting quarterback, and actually the Saints were better without him. Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati as the Bengals continue to fall out of relevance and probably completely out of the playoffs. 16-10 was the final. Pittsburgh with a season-high 421 yards. They fired their offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, and man, what a difference that made. Najee Harris, 99 yards and a touchdown. Pat Freiermuth was back. The tight end had 9 catches for 120 yards. 3 Chris Boswell field goals. Cincinnati falls to 5-6. Jake Browning, who's from Folsom up near Sacramento, was pretty decent in replace of Joe Burrow. He was 19 of 26, 227 yards, had the 1 touchdown, and also had 1 interception. But the Bengals fall to 5-6. Tennessee beat Carolina in Nashville, 17-10. Man, the Panthers are bad. They're 1-10. Derrick Henry with 2 touchdowns in the game. Bryce Young, 18 for 31 for 194 yards, no touchdowns. How much are Titans fans wishing that how much are Panther fans wishing that the Panthers had drafted C.J. Stroud instead of Bryce Young? Well, you know, it'll be interesting to see because there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this next draft. Does Carolina, with their high pick, do they wind up going with a quarterback up high, or do they stay with Bryce Young and despite the fact he had kind of a bad year? Indianapolis, behind Gardner Minshew, beat Tampa Bay 27-20. Gardner Minshew wins again. Minshew is just underrated. He had a touchdown. He was 24-41. He threw for 251 yards. He did have an interception. He got 2 rushing touchdowns from Jonathan Taylor. The running back had 2 touchdowns and a big day for Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman had 10 carries for 107 yards for the Colts. New England, man, how bad are the Patriots? Bill Belichick is on the verge of maybe leaving New England, according to some reports. They fall to 2-9, and today was really bad. They lose to the New York Giants, who win back-to-back for the first time all year. The Pats are just an awful team. And if you ask me what's the problem here, Bill Belichick, the general manager, let down Bill Belichick, the head coach. They don't have any talent. They have no offensive talent to speak of. They lose 10-7. Giants took 3 interceptions away from Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. Jones got benched. He was 12 of 21 for 89 yards and 2 picks, and then got benched. Isaiah Hodgins, who's a Walnut Creek kid, went to Berean High School out here in Walnut Creek. He had a touchdown for the G-Men. Jalen Hyatt, their rookie wide receiver, had 5 catches for 109 yards. Xavier McKinney, the safety, had the 3rd interception, and that set up New York for the game-deciding field goal. And then, at the end of the game, to make, add injury to insult and make things even worse for Patriots fans, Bill Belichick played for the tie at the end, and he went to his rookie kicker, Chad Ryland. And Chad Ryland, the rookie kicker out of Maryland, who's a good kicker, but, I mean, he gagged today. He missed a 35-yard field goal with 3 seconds left that would have tied the game and sent it to overtime. So, man, the Patriots fans, I mean, you know, they're going to be tested because it looks like Belichick is either going to be in Dallas or Washington or somewhere else next year. And, you know, suddenly, did Bill Belichick forget how to coach? No. But the talent is eroded there. They have no weapons. They have no weapons. They don't have good defense. They don't have a good offense. They're just They can't win a game where the opposition scores 20 points. I mean, that's one of the worst offensive teams in football. Zappe came on for Mac Jones. He wasn't any better. You know, he was just as bad as Jones. So they got 2 bad quarterbacks. Ramondre Stevenson's a decent running back. That's basically it on offense. No receivers to speak of. The defense has got some decent players, but they don't play consistently. I mean, they only allowed 10 points, so you can't harp on the defense too much. But it sounds like we're seeing the end of Belichick's run in New England, and they fall to 2-9 and lose to the New York Giants 10-7. And then probably one of the games of the day in the morning slate was Jacksonville beating Houston 24-21 in Houston. Jaguars are now 8-3. Houston falls to 6-5. Jacksonville in this game, though, lost Cam Robinson, their star tackle, to a left knee injury. So Robinson could be done for the year. I don't know the severity of that injury, but that is obviously a huge blow for the Jaguars. And, of course, the Niners just plucked an offensive lineman off their practice squad, so the timing could not be worse for Jacksonville, as Ben Barch is now a 49er. But Trevor Lawrence threw for 364 yards in this game and a touchdown. And Houston had a chance at the end to tie it to force overtime, and Matt Amendola missed a 58-yard field goal, hit the sidebar, and that was it. Jacksonville escapes Houston with a 3-point win. Now, you say, how did C.J. Stroud look? C.J. Stroud looked awesome in this game. He was 26 of 36 for 304 yards. He had 2 passing touchdowns. In addition to that, Stroud also was Houston's leading rusher. He had 6 runs in this game for 47 yards and a touchdown. So C.J. Stroud accounted for basically all of Houston's touchdowns. 2 passing, 1 rushing. They only scored 21 points. But they fall to 6-5, and a tough loss for the Texans as they're trying to pursue a playoff spot in the AFC playoffs. So there you go. There's the morning slate. Derek Carr was awful. Pittsburgh with a new offensive coordinator, it looks like they're a little bit better. Cincy is not going to the playoffs. Carolina is a train wreck, probably, and Tennessee gets a nice win at home over Carolina. Gardner Minshew does nothing but win games. Tampa Bay loses in Indy. Belichick's probably out in New England. They lose to the New York Giants 10-7. And despite C.J. Stroud, Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence win in Houston. So there you go. A little recap of the morning slate from Week 12. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check that link in the description and use that promo code KRUG, and they'll match you up to your first $100. And thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.